Hello YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've been able to record some new video. I recently started a new job. I'm actually an engineer in real life. And for the past 4 months I've been doing some training and going all over the place, flying and going to study and get ready for my position that I'm working in. So, in the meantime, I have been working on my factories, and I wanted to give you a quick update on where I'm at. Let me go ahead and go on out here. I didn't really have a plan here other than to show you how far everything's come along. This is the power plant factory. Now, if you remember in a few videos back, I was showing you my power plant, the chillers video. It's for the industrial craft chillers video. Just look it up in my video series. I don't have many videos, so it won't take you very long to find it. But I was showing you how to build the industrial craft chiller, and you can see the main floor. Well, this is the power plant and how far it's come along. And let me just give you a brief overview of everything that it does and some of the things that the reason I did them. Now, my video is a little chunky because this thing is a lag monster. There is so much going on here. So please bear with me. It's the best I can do under the circumstances. So without further ado, what I have here is a fluid nuclear reactor power plant. It's got two fluid nuclear reactors in there, and it runs on uranium and plutonium. The factory will receive the uranium and plutonium here from the train systems, and actually, let's go ahead and fire those up, just so you can see how fun this all is. Why not? Why not? I usually keep these turned off until I am ready to run them. So I'll go ahead and fire these all up. Let's just go ahead and turn it all on. What the hey, right? Let's go ahead and fire on there. Just make sure we got water on everything. And oh, I got the electric train running now. This one's carrying so much weight, I had to put two electric cars on there. I actually spoke to Covert Jaguar about this a little bit. I think that the electric power loco is a little underpowered. It doesn't go as fast as a steam powered one with the same amount of cars, so I think it should be able to do as good or better. Considering the huge amounts of electricity it uses, it's severely unbalanced, in my opinion, in the way the power works with the electric rails. It's not realistic. Even when there's no train cars, no electric cars running or on the track, it drains power. So the power feeders that feed the train system are vampiring tons of power. So not cool, but he said he's going to rework the power system, balance it a little better, which would make me hugely happy. Let's get these all turned on so you can see this all running and how the power plant gets its power or its resources to make power. Okay, I should have had this turned on, but like I said, I'm not a professional YouTuber. And I'm not a professional Minecrafter either, but I'm just a mom that really likes playing Minecraft, and I'm going to go down here and turn on the power train. Now the electric train systems are powered by the power plant. It's one of many things the power plant will power. This is our seaport over here. Another user by the name of Kenzik has been working on building that. It's pretty cool. This is where one of the power plants or the power transformers that powers the electric train system. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And as you can see, it's powering up the track now. Now the problem is that the electric tracks work like electric power cables. They each store power in them, so they're mini little batteries, so to speak. But the problem is that that electric is dissipated after a time if you don't use it, even if no train car uses it. Again, I don't agree with how that works. So, not a fan of that, how that's working. And I think Mechanism's cable is glitching here because it should be glowing there. It should have power coming out. Yeah, it does. And it's either that, no. No, you know what it is? There's no power coming from the train or from the power plant up there. These control the overhead lights so you can tell when a train is coming. Oh, and by the way, we better go turn on the other computer real quick. I'll have this all fired up for you in a second. Do 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 do. Let me go ahead and turn this on running. Hopefully we have enough power at least to get us around the track. We don't want any jams. Oh, did I forget to turn this one on? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yep. All right. Now this, for some reason, every time I go through this tunnel, that's when I hit the lag spikes. I think it's because it's transitioning into a different biome, and it has to do a load. Okay, this is where the other power plant for the track is. It takes two, one on each end, to make the whole thing work. So I'll go ahead and turn this on. Yeah, it's outputting power. And this is where it feeds to these over here. This is what powers the whole track. Now, if we didn't have all electric track, we'd have to put a power feeder in each section or use shunting wire and connect the two sections of electric cable between other sections that are not electric cable. Okay, looks like yeah, this is all turned on, but why isn't it coming into the station? Oh, I don't have the locks open. Here we go. Turn those open. That turns these on right here, so that'll allow the train to go in there. And it looks like I was doing some work down there. Okay. Yeah, I was doing some work down there. Forgot to close this back up. There we go. Okay, now we should start seeing the trains. Now this is where our journey begins. You've probably already seen my other videos with the uranium refinery. And it explains everything what that does. So I won't go too far into depth other than say this is where the trains are picking up the plutonium and the uranium. All right. Trains come in, and then they come down here. They get some water, and eventually I have more buildings in here. Okay. And this is the lag spike tunnel again. I'm not sure why it does that again. I think it's just a transition from the biome. Okay, now you'll see as the trains come into the power plant, their payload is unloaded here. And that one didn't have anything on it because it didn't get a chance to go through the station yet and get some uranium or plutonium. But when a train comes through that has uranium or plutonium, they will be unloaded here. And then they are taken and processed into the machines inside here. Let's go ahead and I love these doors I made here. I'm just using Tinker's MechWorks to do that. This is the drawbridge, and I have one down below with one color and one up above with a separate color. So when you press the button, it makes them change colors. I really wish they would invent some different color blocks that you could set the color to any one of the 16 colors that you wanted it to be. So it'd be one color in non-redstone mode, and then when you put redstone power to it, it would change to the other color that you want it to. And better yet, it'd be even nicer if they could use one like the red power mod maker Project Red, if he would invent a light or a block that would change based on the redstone power level it has, because I think it goes from 0 to 15. And so say it gave it the redstone color power a level of 3, it would go to a certain color or whatever. That would be really cool. Okay, so yep, our trains are working good. Now they're delivering us supplies. And as those supplies are being delivered, this is one of the first machines here that this is my alloy smelter. And all that uranium is being processed and put in the tanks here. And it's turned into nuggets. Or I'm sorry, the nuggets are brought. Oh, you can hear one of the machines going right now. Yeah, it's making deliveries. Okay, so anyway, it brings the nuggets in here that the trains have delivered, and it turns it into liquid and molds it into an ingot. So the ingots are output here. Once the ingots are outputted, they go into the ME system, which you can see here. And we've got all kinds of stuff in here right now. There's a nugget that was just delivered by the trains. You can see them coming in. And those, through a series of other processes, are turned into fuel rods. These machines here, well, let's start with this one. This one over here makes the fuel rods themselves. Here's the mold, and metal ingots are put in, and it's just a fancy looking little machine I made to do that process. It's a GregTech machine, just kind of using carpenter's blocks and some different stuff. Then once those fuel rods are made, they need to be filled with a fuel. So I'm using the Applied Energistics molecular assemblers to assemble everything inside these chambers, which really look cool when it does it. And here's the fuel rods. So there's actually 4 different processes going on in this block. You got 2 molecular chambers, each doing different types of fuel, and on each side of these there is another solid canning machine that cans the fluid into the rods. So 2 different types. Over here I have the thermal centrifuge, and what this little guy over here does is it takes the old fuel rods and the ones that are depleted and turns them back into usable resources again, basically recycling them. And then all those materials end up back in here. So you can see old iron dust. That's what was in plutonium balls. Those were old fuel rods. So over here you have what the tanks should look like when they're all done. Right now I have that other side all ripped up because I'm working on it. And this will be covered up so you can't see the controls down below. But basically what this does is, well, it's pretty complex. But here's what it does, okay? When you see the yellow lights on, that means the nuke is running and at a very good core temperature. It's steady, it's not overheating. If the lights go orange, that means it's starting to overheat. You have a problem. And if it goes red, from orange to red, then that means it's in emergency shutdown mode. Over here, this one's got white and red, and what that means is it's been locked out. There's a handle down below in the control room that locks it so the machines can't, nothing can turn it on. It's basically locked out, tagged out. So I don't need that one right now, so it's locked off for security reasons. Okay, so I wanted this thing to be self-balancing system and it to govern the fluids and regulate and do all that good stuff. So I'm using pressure pipes mod to do my fluids, and these tanks are from the pressure pipes mod. Oh, you can see these kicking on here. You can see them all starting to fill up with fluids now, and they're turning the turbines, and we are making energy right now. And all that energy is flowing down into here, going down below. And I'll show you what's below in a minute. There's a big capacitor bank room down below. But I'm getting ahead of myself again. So as you see, the tanks kicked on themselves. The reactor over there is still running. But sometimes not all these chillers over there are going to be running. They only run when there is a demand put on them from the system. So say one of those chillers, like the train system, is drawing power from that. If it has a draw on it, it will kick the chiller on and it will start to charge its batteries and replenish the system. But what happens when these are full and they don't have any draw on them? Well, that becomes problematic for these tanks. You see, sometimes the nuclear reactor, well, not sometimes, always, the nuclear reactor puts out 1120 HU or 1120 heat units per tick. And that's a lot of liquid. Well, sometimes if you've got a lot of chillers running, they can handle taking all that liquid and more. And they will actually run faster than the nuke can provide it. But then at other times when those things aren't running, the nuke can provide heat liquid faster than the chillers are taking it. So this causes problems when you're trying to regulate the tanks, because I put limiters down below, these detectors. These are redstone blocks and they come on depending on the situation. Like this one will come on when the liquid is over 75% full, and so forth. You can set them all different ways, just like Buildcraft. I better put down there. You can set them just like Buildcraft pipes. Anyway, I wanted it to regulate itself. So I designed this circuit. And basically what it does is if the liquid, say it all checks the hot tank here. If the liquid gets up to 75%, it will open this valve right there with the green arrow on it. Now this valve didn't exist a month ago. I actually convinced the mod maker to invent this check valve. It was one of my suggestions. That and these redstone tank sensors, as well as some other new features for this mod. So thank you, Bidu, very much for adding these for me and for adding it for the Minecraft community. But I really, really could not have built this without his help in getting those invented and put into the mod. So I highly recommend you go download the Pressure Pipes mod. It's one of the best mods I've seen in a long time to come along for fluid control. You just simply can't play Minecraft without it, I think. Anyway, so let's just say it gets up to 75% and for some reason the sensor doesn't go off correctly, or the tank is, the liquid actually bounces up and down. It can go higher, it can go lower at any given second because it's sloshing around inside, based on how much liquid the nuclear reactor is putting out and how much the chillers down there are taking. So to solve this problem, I put another limiter in at the top. So it makes a detection between 75% and 100% full. And if that happens, it shuts the nuclear reactor down, which I'll demonstrate manually. It'll kick this off over there, and you see the reactor over there is now, the lights are white on it. So if I go over here and turn it back on, yeah, it gives us an audible alert and the lights are now yellow again. But that normally happens manually. Okay, so what happens when the liquid gets too low? Well, normally on this tank, once it gets below 25%, if the nuclear reactor is still running and the liquid drops to 25%, what you'll see is this. That circuit will kick this switch on. over here. There we go. It'll kick this switch on and it shuts those chillers down. See, it closed this valve right here. When I did that, see, I can do that right here too. So you can see the valve turn on and you see it turned off. And what that'll do is you'll start to see the red liquid. It's actually draining because I shut that valve off. You can see them. I'll just wait here. Say, oh, I can hear my machines running over there from the train deliveries. It's so cool to watch the trains moving and going and stuff from in here. Sometimes I get lost in here sometimes. Anyway, yep. Okay, so now that those are gone, you'll see the blue go out. Yep. And they shut down. Okay. Yep, we got another delivery there. Pretty cool. I love watching the trains go by. So neat. Oh, here comes another train. And it's cool because I have all the control systems for all the trains out there. They can't ram each other. I haven't had a train collision, oh geez, in months. It's so well regulated now. And here comes the electric train. You can see it coming. Yep. You can see it all going. It's fun. If we go down to this window here, you should be able to see the train make a deposit. Let me turn now. There we go. Pretty cool. That's that green light on there that comes on. It'll go off once all the nuggets are gone. Right now they're in the loader. See, they just shut off and now they're being transferred into the machine up here. So, yeah. Anyhow, let me show you around my plant a little bit. The next time I'm done, I'll have this all sealed up. And I just wanted to make a video so you could see some of the circuitry down in here. It's pretty intuitive. I'm not sure if you're a Redstone fan or not, but let me explain really quick how this works. Right here is the on and off switch for the nuclear reactor. And up here on this tank, we have 4 different colors. We have blue, and on the blue, let me turn that back on. On the blue, this will activate at 75% full. The orange will activate at, well, it says over 25% full, but I'm actually using a NOR switch to invert that, so it's actually 25% under, and I'll explain that in a minute. This one's full, and this one will be to detect when it's empty. Okay, so our journey starts here. The first one is on the orange one right here. It goes through this NOR gate, and it's actually inverting the signal. So what I'm trying to detect is when the tank is below 25%. And it'll hit this pulsar. It comes up here on this line, going up to here. It goes into this repeater, which turns and goes into this AND gate. And it goes back into this NOR gate. And it makes sure that, and it pulses the red. If the red is pulsed, that is what turns on and off this system right here. So that red is hit and it'll turn off this switch here. Anyway, that is how those all work, and they just basically pulse the system. And I made only one trigger system, so it doesn't have a lot of redundant stuff in there. Again, I'll most likely edit this part out, but I just wanted to show you really quick. Okay, so here is the plant in a full entirety. And you can see at the top now, these actual cyan color lights, they actually go on and off. When when they're not needed, when there's no draw on this on their system, they'll go out, and so will these red lights. Right now, they still have room to charge power batteries down below, so the red lights are all on. Let me go downstairs and show you. Yep, here's our control room. There we are. I'm going to put some ME control panels up on here, but this is the control room. I can shut the nuke off right here and override it and see everything shuts off, and the door in there actually opens and allows personnel to go in there and service the nuclear reactor. I can turn it back on, and you can see here in a second that'll kick back on. There we go. And it's on. Down here is the reactor chamber rooms. You have to go through these chambers to be able to get into the reactor. Now this one's not running, so there's nothing we got to do other than just walk in, and we can look at the setup. And this setup gives me 1120 heat units. Let me go over here. Now, this one here is running, so the system is automatically programmed to close the door. Now, let's say I want to get in there. Well, let's just go ahead and press that. Now, it lets me in, but it's not going to let me go any farther. The doors are shut. Showers come on. Got to take a decontamination shower. The door will open, and it lets me go in, and then the doors will shut automatically, and then the nuke will come on. And see, that was all perfectly choreographed through Redstone, timers, and switches. There's actually quite a bit of orchestrating to get that all to happen. And not instantly either. I put a lot of delays in there so it's not all perfectly instant, because there's no points for that. This is again my nuclear reactor setup, and I'm going to demonstrate. This is actually all hooked up through the ME system as well to replace components when they're worn out, namely the fuel rods, and it will replace it with it's programmed to replace it with either uranium or MOX fuel rods. So like right here is a MOX one, and here's uranium. My system will put either or in, and my machines upstairs will actually make them as they're needed, so I don't have a big huge storage of them somewhere. So watch, I'll pull this one out, and in a second you'll see it'll be replaced with another one. There you go. We'll do it again. Pull that one out, and another one will be put in there. See? And it just crafted it and made it out of all the supplies the train is bringing. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, so let's go on out of here. Go out. We gotta take our decontamination bath. Okay, and the door will open, and we can come on out, and the door will close, and the nuke comes on. Okay, let me show you really quick what the circuitry looks like to make that all happen. I'll go back here. Back here is behind the scenes, okay? This is all the Redstone control to make the nuke work, and to make those door systems work, to make the tanks work. Everything is back in here. So it took quite a bit of figuring out to make it and fine tune it. A lot of, this is why I haven't been making videos. One of the reasons, to make this all happen took a lot of time to do. You can see my building underneath. I always put corridors around the walls and around the back and everything. You never know when you want to come back here and run wires and stuff and not have anything to be seen. So this is how I do it. See, there's wires there. Even underneath, you can see underneath my entire building, it's all got space underneath it. So, and the whole building is lined with bedrock, so you can't in survival mode, you can't burrow under it or anything like that. These are the doors. We're going over the door systems right now. And so, like I said, this is behind the walls. I find this to be a good way of building things, because it's just like I said, it makes access easy to get to everything, and but then I also like to keep everything hidden. This is the ME system. I'm actually transmitting power using a quantum generator, which those are going to go away. I only did that initially to build the building, but I'm going to actually have it start running on its own self-made power. I'm transmitting power through the ME system itself to the machines. The machines do not have power cables ran to them. Everything is being ran through the ME system. Even redstone signals are going through the ME system. Liquids are going through the ME system. So I'm really utilizing it. And here are my crafting computers. They're all being utilized as well. So not sure how that broke, but let's just replace that. One of those little happy things that happen when you update a mod occasionally and you come back and you got surprises. Oh, let me show you. I haven't got any lights up here yet, but I will. Okay, so after all that power is made, you're probably wondering where the heck does it all go? Well, that comes down here, my friends. All right. This is the capacitor bank room, and underneath those chillers, they are pretty badass looking, if I do say so myself. Here's all the piping and all the circuitry that goes underneath one of those chillers. They are super complex. Lots of wiring, lots of stuff compacted in there, tons of different mods of stuff going on. I mean, there's a lot going on in here. And I originally had this all closed up so you would never see any of it up there. And one day I was digging in the ceiling and working on something that had gone wrong underneath on one of them. And I left it open for a while and decided, it's a lot cooler to see everything below than it is to cover it up. So this is how this room was made. And I just decided to showcase it. And I think it looks really cool this way. So these are my little designs. I took the AFSU, that's this here, and it holds 1 billion EU. It's kind of like the MFSU, it's just an upgrade. It's a separate mod called AFSU. Apple Frank Sam UFO. AFSU. And it, again, was it X Boney 2 is the author of that mod. Really cool industrial craft add-on mod. Anyway, I just built these capacitors using forged microblocks to make them look like this, and then there's the cables and everything, and then all the power that they make, they are beamed out using a tesseract. Now, this is not really what I wanted to do, was to use a tesseract. I wanted to send cables all over my city, but the lag is just too impossible to control. There's just too much lag with cables. So what I found I had to do was, at this point, wherever the power is going to go, whatever building, whatever city it's going to go to, they will be assigned a tesseract channel number. And I've got 20 of them in here. Each one of these tesseracts will have access to 1 billion EU being sent, broadcast to them, and then it will be up to that city or building to build a capacitor bank to store tons of power being drawn out of each one of those tesseracts. So they only get one. So the lights actually turn green up top there when they're full. Let me demonstrate that. I'll stick this in there and fill this is one's for the train, so you can see, well, it was green for a second, but the train is drawing power. So I'll just keep that in there for a second. But when they're full, the lights turn green like that, so you can see when they're full. And then what you'll also see is up top, the chiller will not be running anymore. It shuts that chiller off. You can see that happened here because you can see this valve is turned off. But if I take this back out and the light goes red, see, you will see that the valve is going to open back up. So now the valve can open. So it's green. And let me put this back in there. There we go. See, and now it's red because the valve is closed. So that's how I did that. Real simple, easy way to control the chiller's flow and being able to run them and whatnot. Okay. This is another thing that needs fixed. This is not my fault. This is the problem of this mod. It's nuclear control too. It's their flat panels. They lose their memory after a while. I need to reboot my computer or my program. I need to reload the Minecraft, and that would be fixed. But after a while, they lose their settings. Like this one right here. Let me go in here. Let me put this in there once and see if that changes it over here. Oh no, okay, this one is working. So let's see why this one's not. Let me try something here. Might have lost its. Get an energy sensor kit, and let's just put this on. Pair it up with that. And let's just switch this out. Shazam. Put this in there. Electric train system. Okay, and that should be. I don't need that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We just want the storage, or no, I want free. How much is free? I don't want the storage. I want. If I put the energy in there, I think I'm going to keep energy. Yeah, I like that. Energy and fill percent. So energy. Yeah, I like that. Much better. So you can see them charging now. System up top is now charging. Pretty cool. I'll go back and refresh all those. That was another mod that I just updated. So maybe he did get it fixed because those panels were running really crappy lately. But I just updated it with the latest update. So maybe he got it fixed. Oh, out these doors, you're probably wondering. Let me close these down here real quick. These are secure after all. Okay, I love those doors. Out here is underground tunnels underneath the train system. They have tunnels going in each direction for all the controls. And when you see the train lights, or when the trains go over, you'll see the lights lighting up to signify that there's activity up top. You can see everything. These are from. I just like to put them on these boxes to make everything look nice. I'm going to eventually dress it all up more down here and make it a little cooler, the catacombs look to it. But originally I never intended for any users or anybody to come down here. It was just a way for me to quick and easily work on the train tracks. But then it became part of the identity of the city. So I wanted to make it look cool. This is where the unloader is for the up top in front of the nuclear power plant where uranium and plutonium are unloaded. And so I kind of made it cool looking under here with the little fans from the Chisel 2 mod. Just to kind of signify some things. Oh, you can hear the train going by. And you see that? We've got uranium. That was just a positive. I don't know if I can see. There it is, and it's being sucked out and moved out of here. Yep, There it goes in there. It's all sucked up into the system. Cool, huh? If you follow these train corridors down, you can come see, I think down here, we're headed to the uranium plant. Yep. Here's the uranium plant and all its intersection and all its circuitry underneath the uranium plant. You can see all the lights coming on with activity because there's trains waiting and doing stuff up top there. Cool. Let's see if we can wait for a train here to go by. See this light, these lights, oh come on. Here we go. You should see some come on here. There we go. Then you'll just see them come on sequentially. There you go, and there's the train moving. You can see the lights. So it makes it easy to work on things down here too and know what's going on up top just by what's going on with the lights. And we should see the reds come on over here. The greens mean that the green train's on the track. Orange means there's lockdowns that are closed. All that good stuff. I'm probably moving too quickly. And I hate when I do that because when I watch videos like that, it really pisses me off. So I apologize. I'm trying to show you a lot in a very little amount of time. I don't like having all my videos be an hour long. This is the inside of the refinery. You've already seen this. If you want to see this, go to my video on the uranium refinery. But let me go back down here and show you. Let me see here. I need to turn that on. Okay, good. It's on. Yeah, I noticed that the wire's all lit up now because because the power plant has got power now that it's putting out. And of course I put in all bypass switches, like if I don't want that train to come in here, I'll flip that, but it's too late, it was already past it. But if I don't want the red and the green train to come in to this here, but rather just bypass and go over there, that's what these are for. And I put these little control stations in just to give it the feel of a model railroad station so you can have fun playing with the trains in manual mode. And that's going to be my thing. I want people to come in and just have fun. I'm going to eventually put this city up for download. Here, let's make the red train not come in. And see, it'll just go on by. That's right. We don't want what you're settling, what you're peddling today. Keep on going. That's right. That's right. Okay, so actually, the next phase for me to do is once I finish with the power plant, I'm going to make the trains self-govern themselves as far as when they're dispatched. They're actually going to sit here for the uranium trains. They're going to sit in these shunted tracks here, and they will be dispatched when the power plant needs uranium. And they will open and close all the train gates as needed to guide the train to where it needs to pick up what it needs to pick up. And when it doesn't need any more uranium, it will bring the trains back to the power plant and park them. That's the next thing. So that way the trains aren't always running around and using up resources and causing lag and everything else. They will only run when they need to. And that's basically what I'm doing in here as well. So let's go down here and see what's going on with the fuel or the fluid. Okay, so we're almost there. What I want to show you is once this thing gets to 25%, it will shut these off over here, allowing the hot liquid to fill up. Now, my recommendation to you if you do this yourself, is to have your nuclear reactor and your chillers run only between from 25% to 75%. And what I mean by that is your tank here should have at least 25% in it. But what you want to do is have the nuclear reactor fill this tank up to 75% before those chillers down there kick on. Once it reaches 75%, it'll kick on and it'll drain them back down to the 25%. At 25%, they should turn those chillers off and allow it to rise back up to 75% again, keeping the operation between those two zones. Now here's why. Accidents happen. Redstone sometimes doesn't work the way it is. Minecraft can be janky as heck. So you need to have a buffer area between those two. If you run your tank to the very top or the very bottom, see, I'm going to interrupt myself here. It just reached 25% and it just shut off automatically those chillers. So they are now draining themselves, and it will wait and allow this tank. You can see now the tank is now actually increasing again back up to 75%. But as I was saying before, you need to have a buffer of at least 25% in either direction in case of an accident, and they do happen. And you need to wire your nuclear reactors to have thermal control systems. You can see down here, I will simulate an overheated reactor. See, I put mine in down here. I'm using the remote thermal monitor from Nuclear Control 2 mod. And at 100 degrees, it sets off the first alert. That sets off my orange lights up top. And then this one right here will go off at 3,000 degrees. If you have something, if your reactor starts to reach 3,000 degrees, parts inside your reactor are going to start to break down and bust. So I set mine to completely shut the system down at 3,000 degrees. Now I have this handle here to simulate that overheating. So what that does is that actually locks the entire reactor down, and you will see those lights. See the red lights? They cannot be, the reactor can't run. Even my switch out here is bypassed. It doesn't do anything. Okay, so that's just to simulate what this thermal remote shutoff device will do. And again, that's the Nuclear Control 2 mod. You gotta have that, guys. If you don't have that and you think you're gonna run the most perfect system, you're dead wrong. Dead wrong. Because Minecraft is not perfect, mods are not perfect, things happen. I've had times where I booted up Minecraft and a mod or something didn't load properly, or didn't load at all. And it just screwed everything up, and I ended up doing an entire world restore a couple times. Or didn't realize something like didn't work right, and then I had to go back later after I made tons of progress and reboot. So you want to safeguard against those kind of things. Okay, I think that'll do it for now for this. Basically, let me just give you some fan service here, looking around at my plant. Yep, I think it looks better at night. So let me turn it off and turn it to night. There we go. That is the plant, guys. And it took me a long time to design this thing. It's got a lot of stuff to it to make it work and to make everything work. I love the design. It's modern, yet it doesn't look like a typical Minecraft building. You know, the typical crazy, huge nuclear plants that people make. I'm not a fan of those with the big silos and everything. I mean, they got their place, but I like this because it looks more like a real industrial plant would. and it's the best I can do with Minecraft blocks. Um, it still utilizes the reinforced blocks that Industrial Craft intended it to be built with. So it's all reinforced. I've actually blown up this building and it does really well. The only thing that gets damaged when the reactor blows up is basically the inside of the reactor room, which is that little what's at the bottom of that pit. Just the glass lights get blown out, and that's pretty much it. So the rest of the building is protected. Um, Lastly, again, I apologize. I haven't made videos. Again, I've been, working on my new job, and so I really appreciate the views and the positive comments. I know um, my videos are kind of long, and I know my voice isn't the greatest. I do the best I can, and if you'd like to see some more, all I ask is that you just like the video, click like. My last video got lots of views, but not too many likes, so I kind of took that as like I must have not shown you what you wanted to see, or I just basically put up something that really sucked. So if you can let me know what direction I should go, what you want to see next me build and add to the city or whatever, just click that like button and leave me a comment. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.